Hey, Jason Rice here with LotParty. Thanks for joining the show again. Every Monday we have new episodes, and this Monday I'm excited. Here, real quick, LotParty show. Again, give you some background about it. If you've been in the car business long enough, you know what a LotParty is. That's usually where we typically get all the salespeople and porters and go out to the physical lot and move the cars around, stir up the inventory to make it look a little different, or take a car that's been sitting and put it in the hot spot, maybe move the trucks to the back. So what we're doing here with LotParty show is the same thing, but we're stirring up what we can do in our virtual lot. What can we do online with our inventory, with our follow-up process? What can we do to stand out and stir things up? And so I'm excited about today's show. I have Aaron Wirtz here. He actually focuses a lot on video, and I think a few shows back we talked to autos on videos, and we talked about the impact of videos and what dealerships can do on cars. And both in marketing their car and even in the service, how to document video and send it to customers as they're getting service work done that they might need their brake pads repaired and so forth. But this segment, we want to talk about video and marketing, not just your inventory, your store, and just all out, what can we do in marketing? So Aaron here, he has a huge background. Matter of fact, he was famous on Fox News, something I watch almost every night. So here he was on TV there. And because they came up with a creative way to combat a strike that was going on at the dealership as they're building a new facility. So before I take any thunder away, I'm going to introduce Aaron here. I want him to go over his background, where he came into the car business, where he is now, and then we're going to start dipping into the video. So Aaron, glad you can join us. Thanks for joining us here.
Thanks, Jason. It's really a pleasure to be here. I've been watching your show for a while now, and I'm pumped for the opportunity. So, just like Jason said, my name is Aaron Wirtz. I am the media and marketing manager for the Ride Auto Group, which does include Subaru of Wichita and Super Car Guys. And primarily, I deal on the Super Car
Hold on one second.
Guys now, because it's turned into kind of a used car behemoth here in Wichita.
Your audio kind of broke up a little bit.
I'm sorry.
Got your audio and video kind of broke up a little bit there. So you're talking about the used car behemoth, or you were talking about that? Go back about 2 or 3 seconds.
And so if it's something that you have to maybe be from Wichita or the surrounding areas to understand, but everybody knows Super Car Guys, and that's for better or worse, but for us it's worked very well. Yeah. And we've seen some staggering sales growth and personnel growth and brick and mortar growth, and it doesn't feel like there's any end in sight necessarily. And so I came on to the dealership 4 years ago as a social media manager. So I started off in a role that was digital first, digital only essentially, and I still try to stay progressive in those areas. But what's been interesting about my experience with Super Car Guys is that my marketing experience has been rounded out with the heavy traditional presence that we still maintain. So we do heavy TV, we do a lot of Pandora. We don't do a lot of radio necessarily, just traditional radio, but we do have our own magazine that we give away at grocery stores and so forth, anywhere those free magazine racks are. And so, like I said, it's for me, it's been very helpful to see that traditional by no means is dead. And I think that, honestly, I say this all the time, but the distinctions between what is digital advertising, what is traditional advertising, I find that to be a stupid argument even of what is better, what is one thing, what is the other. Because for instance, I mean, what is that traditional advertising because it's radio, but it's served over the internet? So is that digital marketing? Yeah. And those distinctions just no longer make sense. You know, what is Hulu advertising? What is advertising like that? And so I think what we're seeing right now that I'm very excited about is that, you know, we have all these predictions about how video essentially will become the internet, that 90% of internet traffic will be video traffic. And what does that mean essentially? So just as your show implies, Jason, the internet is becoming television. And so people will just go to the internet to watch and consume content that's being served up in the same way that it was on TV. Now, of course, you have on-demand functionality and you have way more choices, but essentially that the least common effort denominator still applies with internet content too. People want to sit back, they want to be shown entertainment. That's it's kind of an interesting merger of the two worlds.
Sure.
Where you have people consuming longer form content on the internet. It's very exciting.
Yeah, and you know, I'm reading or listening audiobook to Gary Vaynerchuk's Ask Gary V, and they brought up the whole video aspect in YouTube, and he was just talking about, you know, the way, I mean, transition. Shoot, my 8-year-old daughter has an iPad around the house hooked up to my account, but she has that iPad watching videos and not TV. You know, she's in front of that. And so he was talking about how people nowadays, you can start building yourself up. He said, I'd rather be an internet star than a TV star, because and he referenced back at the days when movies came out, when movies was the big thing and TV came out. Well, you know, the movie stars were mocking the TV stars, and eventually that took over, and we're going through that same transition on the internet. And to go back to automotive part of it, you know, just basic, I just go backwards a bit of, you know, you're talking about how you guys advertise on TV and radio and some of these traditional stuff, and a lot of dealers still do. And like you said, to the point, there's still a medium there. But I'm so surprised that these dealers don't have their commercials on their own YouTube channel or their commercials on their own website, you know, and double dip into that exposure. They just usually say, okay, here's my TV advertisement. Boy, we need to do something about our videos. You know, we don't have any videos to do. And I'm like, couldn't you do both, you know, and have that in all those different aspects, and your Facebook and Twitter and wherever else? Is that stuff you guys been really having good luck at then? Moving that and actually, oh, go ahead.
Well, what I'm most interested in along those lines are how video can bring an entire community together. And what I mean by that is just a couple of examples. So one example that we did recently, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago now, we teamed up with a local musician who had written a song about bullying. The song was called Don't Let Them Get in Your Head. And so we decided that we were going to produce the music video for this song in combination with a PSA campaign, an anti-bullying campaign. Okay. And so we teamed up with a local middle school, which is actually just outside of Wichita in a place called Valley Center, a smaller town. And so while I certainly take your point about what Gary Vee is saying about his children and so forth, I'm not a Gary Vee fan. I'm just not. And I think that too often he goes for this kind of coerced agreement about the way he sees the world. Yeah. And the reason I bring that up is that, for instance, we've got a video that was taken at Valley Center where we had the entire middle school student body collected in this gym. And I'm here to tell you, every single kid knew the Supercar Guys theme song. And they didn't learn it from the internet. I'm here to tell you that much. They learned it from TV. Oh, wow. And so take your point. I see your point. I'm certainly a technologist. I'm a digital foremost. But there's still big opportunity. And we got to keep our small towns in mind, too, for sure. And I think we don't talk about that. It's not sexy right now. You're not going to hear that. What's going on in San Francisco and Seattle and all this. But I'm here to tell you, there are people driving plenty of cars in Valley Center, Kansas. What are we doing to reach out to them, too? And that's, like I say, that's the kind of balance that I'm really into right now. Anyway, so we go to this school and film this video, which naturally was going to live on YouTube because the song is 3 or 4 minutes. And we had collected some kids that were going to be the stars of this video. I'll send you the link to it, which we're very proud of how it turned out. It's very moving. So not only was this project basically the talk of the town, I'm friends with some people who are on the City Valley Center and so forth. Yeah. And as you can imagine, there's talk about, so when you involve a whole school in that, we had the news come out, they covered it, we got some mentions on the local news for this campaign. The video was released, we put a PSA spot on TV to draw attention to that. So people would go to the website, watch the music video, fill out a pledge. We would mail them a wristband. And so that's what I'm saying. I think we're thinking too simplistically when it comes to me make video, me put video YouTube, you watch video. That's it. You know what I mean? Video brings people together.
Sure.
And for car guys, I'm here to tell you, video opens doors. Get the camera out, and all of a sudden, you're welcome in places that no business being in otherwise. That's what I love about cameras. That's what gets me so excited. And not only that, going and talking about video to various networking groups, people will beat down the door about that stuff. Come talk about cars, but they will come and listen to you talk about video marketing.
Sure.
And so it's been a great way to establish those ties in the community. Now, the most crucial thing, I think, for me personally about that experience, this music video experience, was one of the characters in the music video was this 8-year-old girl named Kendall. She was born with cerebral palsy, and she had struggled with bullying issues before, as you can imagine. And her parents trusted us to let her be in the video. She did a great job. And on the night of the video premiere, which a local restaurant let us have this premiere there, you know, she was on the poster. She was the star.
All right,
Sure.
so sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulty. So the little 8-year-old girl, she was on the poster, and you guys had it at the restaurant. And then, okay, go ahead and pick up from there.
Yeah, and it was one of those very special moments because if you watch this music video, see, it's very emotional. And as you can imagine, there were a lot of tears in the room. And it was one of those experiences that I realized that this is probably something that they'll be looking back on for the rest of their lives. And it was very special. And I think that so often in the car business, we use digital media. It can be measured in the metrics and engagement and ROI and all of these things. And I'm not knocking any of that stuff. However, what we're missing out is in the heart and soul of the media that we create, the connections that it makes.
Sure.
And there's still no way to quantify that. And that's what's up for me, because I make crazy used car commercials, but the fact that the business that my commercials generates then facilitates experiences like that for Kindle, life-changing experiences, infuses my position with meaning. And that sort of internal marketing, the marketing that faces our employees, certainly does not get talked about enough either. And I think what an effective video strategy really does, an effective media strategy at any dealership, what that does is it gives the employees, the members of the team, the tribe, the organization, whatever, a sense of feeling of belonging, purpose, and a sense of placement on the timeline of history that they can point at and say, I was there, this was me, this is who we are. And it's something that makes them feel like they identify, man. And we talk all about customer experience, and this is the year of customer experience and stuff. However, we don't talk about the sort of marketing that we're doing to our employees, and maybe marketing even is the wrong word. But I know people bring up the issue of Chick-fil-A, for instance, and I'll just give you one example. I'm a fan of that company because of this. I'm a big brother through Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and the Chick-fil-A in Wichita will let you go in with your little brother and just get whatever you want. No, there's no special menu. You can order as much as you want. It's all free.
Oh, wow.
You just take what you want. And I got to thinking, I was like, what does that do for that company? I don't really tell people about it. And it hasn't turned me into a regular Chick-fil-A buyer. I never spend any money in there. I have to come to is that it's not for me. It's not for the community. It's for their employees. When their employees see that their job, their organization is making of me and my little brother, someone who doesn't have a lot of opportunities, that helps them become, it infuses their job with meaning. It would be easy for them to say, it's fast food, I hate this, I'm frying potatoes and chicken sandwiches and stuff. But no, why are Chick-fil-A people so happy? And that's not the sole reason, obviously. But it's one of those little things that helps contribute to the idea that every single job on the face of this planet can change lives. It can be an opportunity for transformation and growth. And that's what's going on, man. There's no way to fake that. And that's the thing. It's like so many dealerships want to say, oh, how can I do video? How can I make more video? And first of all, video is a diagnostic tool. Is your dealership culture toxic or is it healthy? Is it a place where you can actually people can actually feel comfortable being on video. Most dealerships still aren't, and there's no way of faking that.
Maybe that's why they're still struggling with video, just because of that.
Exactly. And we don't talk about that enough either.
No, and
everybody just says, get out your iPhone, and it should be so easy, but it's not, man. Video, people see a video camera and they see it as this implement of humiliation. That, hidden camera pranks and all this stuff that toxic dealerships, all these jokers run around trying to embarrass each other with these things. Man, that stuff's real.
Well, I mean, it even comes, I help enough dealers out there that I know there's still a problem with this. And this, even again, step backwards here and dumbing it down a bit, is even just going to their Facebook or their Twitter or whatever social that's out there, and a lot of times it's inventory or promotions, or it's just a picture of a customer taking delivery. I said, you need to get a little bit more personal. Have the picture of the person's anniversary, or the pet dog that's always in the shop, or what we do with philanthropy and stuff, or get, and again, video takes that to the next level. But we don't even, a lot of dealerships I don't even see promote just those in photos. And again, is it a comfort level? Is it, we forgot, or they don't think in that, think that way? But obviously even video takes it to that next level. One of the ones that stood out while you were talking, Matt Lasko at Lasko Ford, they did a great job. I watched a video they did about small town dealerships and how he's involved with motocross and things like that. And I watched that video, and even though it was about being a small town dealer, they weren't selling anything or promoting anything, but the people there were having fun, and you could see that they're involved in other things in the community. But also, to me, it made it feel like, if you're a blue collar worker, here it's proud to be a small town dealer, proud to be. It just makes you proud to be involved or buying a car from them. Just the way they promote it, the challenges and the benefits of being a small town dealer. And again, it wasn't selling anything and it wasn't self promoting, but it just, to me, could make you want to do business with them. And it's ideal as a Ford store, being, trucks and everything like that, to be that small town dealer. But it takes it to that next level, like you're talking about. And, those videos, like you said, that I'm sure there's no self-promotion in that, but the impact that those people and the kids involved in that video, they'll remember for a long time, and who and how, who did it and how it got done. So, that's even a bigger perspective that I don't think a lot of dealers look at, other than just...
Well, absolutely, and and I know that you base a marketing strategy off of that, and that seems to be always the initial blowback. Well, how many cars did it sell you, and so forth. But again, when it comes to how that sort of content is then reflected into the minds and the hearts of our staff, of our organization, which I believe we are a healthy organization, a friendly organization, and an organization that has integrity, how much better are they then going to serve customers who do come in solely to purchase vehicles? And that's the question that still we're having a difficult time quantifying. But if you don't invest in things like that, in the heart and soul of your people, then good luck. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, let's say you don't have that atmosphere, and I would say a good chunk of dealers might not have that atmosphere, because there's a lot of turnover in this and that. But let's say you don't have that atmosphere. Okay, so as a dealer, I'm sitting there going, okay, obviously I need to get involved with video. What's the steps? Would you suggest dealers to focus on video for the inventory and their cars, and then once you capture that, then maybe do some more videos on promotions or internal stuff or things. What's that first step for dealers for marketing on video? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and it's something I've thought about a lot. Naturally, every dealership employee structure is a little bit different, and the skills and resources are a little bit different at every organization. But honestly, the first real step is learning the fundamentals of video production. And I know that there's a lot of apps out there, and there are a lot of people saying different things. You've got gurus and hotshots saying that the video is as easy as pulling the phone out of your pocket. I have always disagreed with that, and I will always continue to disagree with that.
I've been guilty of that. You got the Capture app that you can automatically upload to your channel and everything.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Yeah. And it's like, that's one of those things where I don't think we have to universally agree on this. But first of all, if you have a dealership that is struggling with getting any sort of, telling your entire staff that they have to walk around doing this kind of stuff, I mean, it takes a very special type of face that, first of all, that even looks like this.
Yeah.
And so you're putting people in a position or are making themselves look bad. It's embarrassing, and they're completely uncomfortable. And so I think there's a couple of different skill sets that need to be developed if you're going to create an expectation of consistent video production. And the first one being is what makes a video watchable. And those are just fundamental principles that can apply to any camera.
Yeah.
And any subject. So whether it's a video about a car or whether it's a video about a birthday party, you know, the way that shots are set up and basic composition and camera settings are the same. And so I think that's time well spent. And I don't know why we don't talk more about that either. And I think that because a lot of the vendors out there that are saying do video don't know themselves. All the best they can do is iPhone footage, and fair play. However, it just doesn't result in a watchable experience. I just don't like those. And so
I think
what does it hurt to learn a little bit more about what makes a good video?
Well, and I guess a little defense, because it's even myself, and I'm gonna hit you up on this, but you know, you know, I think content, and get better. You know, I look back at some of the first videos that I haven't done it that long, a couple year and a half, maybe 9 months or something. I started doing some video tips and stuff like that, and getting a little bit better. But if I waited till the perfect moment to make sure I got the right camera and the right lighting, the right whatever, I probably would have never done it. You know, as I progress. So you're starting or doing kind of a consulting, right? You told me about it, like a consultant firm or consulting dealers on how to do videos. Is that right? I don't know if you're breaking up there.
Yeah, it's a very simple idea. It's just an online for how to create video at the dealership. And I'm certainly not saying that you need $30,000 worth of camera equipment or anything else like that. However, the question that I am raising with this product is called dealerography, and it's just the fundamentals of video production in the dealership setting. So how do you deal with the busy showroom that's noisy? How do you capture good audio in circumstances like that? Those ground level logistic things that none of the scalable technology solutions are even referring to. Because maybe they've never done it on the ground level at the dealership floor. It's like, it's easy to say, hey, do video. But then when the ground level reality of that sets in, it's different. So anyway, the argument is this. If video traffic is going to be 90% of internet traffic here in a few years, as Cisco predicts, means is that essential video production is basic and fundamental to a dealership's communication strategy as a working telephone system and as a functioning internet connection with computer keyboards on which your salespeople can type. It's going to be a fundamental communication method. And so saying, if that argument's true, I'm basing that on predictions here, but we can see the rise of video, the dominance of video, and it seems like they're on the right track. So my argument here is, would you want salespeople who can type emails using correct English? Would you want them to be able to speak on a telephone with a clear, functioning phone line? And so giving people subpar camera equipment or garbage camera, about the same thing in my mind to expecting people to use a tin can phone system, instead of a functioning telephone system.
Well,
I understand that cameras are expensive and everything else, but a $5 product on Amazon has beautiful photography, and yet we're out there taking garbage that has trash and crap in the background and everything else. It's like, let's just start with the basics here, man.
I'm laughing on two levels. One, I think my second show, we talked about photos and just the basics of, getting I think it was called a scrum or whatever, to filter out sunlight going through the windshield, and things like that it doesn't cost that much money, but would change the photo. So, we've been down this road on the photos, but you're talking about video. Second, the reason why I'm laughing is because right now, I would say, and I apologize to anybody watching, it's about 30% of this so far, every once in a while you're breaking up. So it's either my quality of internet or photos, and this isn't the best part. But this is a good example of what not to have out there. Because, and so here's what I'm going to hit you up on. Now, you said you watched the show a few times, and I know you've had background in theater and or dance and stuff, right? And I know I mentioned, because I watched some of your videos too, about being able to help critique and get people to be more live in front of the camera and things like that. So give me a live critique. I've been in the car business. I have thick skin. So as you watch my video, and again, this might help dealers that are doing stuff, is there any tips or ideas that you can give me from my show right here, right now, as far as consulting me on what I could do better on this videos and stuff like that, on the previous ones you've seen?
Well, always easier said than done, but I think the idea of 30 minutes of watchable content is an idea that has to be respected. And as you know, that is a tremendous... I have a video production business on the side. It's called Curve Break. And if someone were to come to me and say, hey, I want to produce 30 minutes of television or 30 minutes of whatever, we're talking about that would probably be $10,000. A lot of work. Yeah. And the reason it's a lot of work is it's hard to be interesting and have enough camera work and content to keep people engaged for 30 minutes. And so...
Cut the shows down would be one critique then, right? Cut it down to what, 10, 15 minutes? We can't get all this in 10 to 15 minutes.
I know it can't, but I think that's one trend that we're seeing in the car business is there's a lot of just kind of, for lack of a better term, like just talking head type of stuff. Yeah. Where, if you're really into the information, it's interesting, but I think the real world parallel here is you've got a lot of guys that are making talking head type video where they the camera on and speak to the camera for long periods of time. Now, I get that there are reasons why you do that. However, the general public doesn't want to watch stuff like that. Yeah. And so there's another disconnect between the people who make video. But then if a dealer, can you imagine if a general manager were to set a camera up and talk at the camera for 20 minutes, how many customers would watch that? There's no way. No one would watch that. And so I guess maybe just respecting that difference too. And I know that different videos have different purposes, and I get all that. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if that's... It's
good. Like I said, it has, because I have...
You put me on the spot here.
I know I did, and that's good. Then I've had, I wouldn't say I've had that critique, but 30 minutes is a long time to get somebody's attention. And
it is.
But you know what? I go through these shows, and 20 minutes just goes by like that. I'm like, well, shoot, And so it's hard to get all that good content in. And again, maybe that's my point, because I talked to you. I said, you know what? With this show, I don't want a script. I just want a conversation. Let's go back and forth and build on ideas and let the conversation go that way. And again, that could be to a fault that maybe is hurting the video content, and maybe have a particular script coming into it. But I do think there is like you said, a lack of the knowledge that anybody's even talking about some of this stuff. So I want to bring this stuff to the table. If you're talking about, we got about a couple minutes here, and then we might need to pause up a little bit, but the equipment. Okay, I'm a dealer. I want to start dabbling around even just fun videos around the dealership, or even a promotional piece, or even taking it to the kids' game that we promote and maybe do something there. What kind of equipment would you say would be the best route to go?
Let me plug my computer in here real quick. I apologize. It's I'll have to do a little location change.
No, I like that.
I thought my battery life was going to last longer than this.
Well, again, we got this long show, draining your battery. So part of it is, I want to make sure that, if a dealer says, okay, what do I do? Where do I start? Do I need lights? Yeah. Do I need, what do I need?
Well, your showroom logistics and like where are you going to plan on making this, of course, is important. But I think still a DSLR is a good investment, and it doesn't have to be, one of those 4K Sony mirrorless cameras or anything. I mean, a Canon Rebel might be a good initial investment. I'm a Canon guy, so I wouldn't be able to speak intelligently on Nikon.
No, that's what
I'm not a Canon snob by any means, but with a decent lavalier microphone might be a good way to start, because I mean, one of the distinguishing characteristics of video versus amateur video, of course, is just audio quality.
Okay.
Get out on the lot. As you know, Kansas is very windy.
Sure.
And even if your picture quality looks good, if you can't hear what the person's saying or the audio is distracting, then that draws attention to itself pretty quickly. And so I'm a big monopod fan, and but I am, over the course of my experience, I believe in buying something nice once versus having to buy crap 4 times.
Sure.
And so there's a huge range when it comes to stabilization gear in price. The monopod I have I think it was $350, but it's worth every penny. Yes, they do make $25 monopods, but they're not going to last.
Sure.
And ultimately, but I mean, I think your initial video investment could easily be under $2,500,
right,
$2,500 to get everything that you would need.
1 second.
Computers into.
All right, so you're saying about $2,500 initial investment, and I got a Nikon D5100, I think, and I think it, it ran. Well, I bought an extra lens, but even at that, $600-$800. I think it does phenomenal on video. Again, my holdup is the 20-minute gap, but it should be under 20 minutes, anyways. And then even at that, I went out and bought a I got like this Yeti mic, but this happens to be for maybe a podcast, but I use it. But I also have like a little Sony clip-on with a cord, but I got a 50-foot cord, but I mean, I think the Sony $50 and the cord was like to give me a long enough distance, $8 or whatever. But even at that, Sony and I've done my quick tips on that mic. If anybody wanted to check out any of my 2-minute videos, the clips, the audio is pretty good on that. Now again, I'm not outside with the elements, but just to do something on the showroom floor, it's good quality and a good mic, and to get things rolling. So again, that setup is maybe less than $800-$900. But then when you start investing in lights and green screen and everything else, it gets a little bit more. But like you said, under $2,000, you should easily be able to set up a good setup.
When you want to take your computer into consideration, and of course any software that you would need would also need to be considered. But honestly, and when dealers ask me that question, I try to help them just kind of tune up their thinking, because I mean, I don't know a single that I can name that hasn't regretted some large scale investments on things like Auto Trader or these big thousands of dollars stakes in digital marketing, and yet we want to pick about $300-$400 on video stuff. And I mean, like, this is something that can last for years if you have people that take care of it. And so, it's going to be a hit up front, but my goodness, the question is, do you want a tin can phone system or do you want a telephone? That's what we're looking at here when it comes to communication in the digital age. Video is an essential. And I think that, all these dealerships that are looking to hire millennial talent, get them excited about this, why not offer video production as part of their dealership training? That's something that will help get them excited. Sure.
That's I've got that here. I've got, a couple data entry guys, but one of my guys, is likes graphic designs and stuff, and he's helping me with this video. He gets to edit, he gets to do other things than just data entry, which then, 1, it's a resume builder for him, 2, gives him experience, 3, helps me out, and it's kind of a win-win. But yeah, I mean, take somebody at like what you're doing at the dealership as a marketing manager and give them other things to do than just the grind of making phone calls or sending emails or selling cars. If somebody's interested in that, help them use that as a platform.
Absolutely. And that's another thing, is that I don't think that we should think in terms of there's one video guy, because that's a lot of pressure on that one person. So why not have a few people that are comfortable with that? And like I say, it's one of those, another distinguishing factor, because I mean, from my experience in the car business, and I know that our dealership's a little bit non-traditional. It is non-traditional in that way, but the range of experiences that I have in car business have been absolutely stunning. And just keep in mind, I was teaching English at Wichita State. I was an English professor before I came to a car dealership.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of imagine what a big career change that was for me. Now I'm the most controversial used car TV personality in the lower half of the state. But, I mean, the range of the things that I've been able to do in the car business it's something I am excited about. And yet, a lot of dealerships can't get anyone to come and even apply for these jobs where there's a potential to make a lot of money, you know? And so where is the disconnect? And I think that too often, like with these technology platforms that claim to take all of the work out of your salespeople's hands, out of your marketing hands, people crave to be challenged. You know, they want their skills to be developed. They want their skills to be put to use. And that's a fact that we should not overlook. 70%, according to Gallup polls, 70% of U.S. workers are not engaged at work, whatever that means. Why aren't they engaged? Well, maybe because their employers are treating them like they can't do it. Maybe they're giving them these scalable technology solutions that promise to take all of the thinking out of their jobs.
Sure.
And so, yeah, I know that we're moving metal, that we're trying to sell cars and all this stuff, but my goodness, let's put some skills to use. Let's put some thinking to use. Let's challenge our people and develop them. Yep. People don't want another app. They don't want another scalable technology solution. They want to feel like their unique contributions to the organization actually make a difference. Yeah. And they want to feel that at the end of the day, they're a little bit better than they were the day before.
Sure.
Are we treating them that way? Not with an app. Or certainly not, that promises to take away all the work.
Yeah, and I think even just that product knowledge person, you know, I was thinking about this before our call here, or our interview, and we'll start wrapping this up, but, even that product knowledge person, it might not be that great, video person, but make 2 or 3 minute video about, hey folks, this is a great GM product. You know what stands out on GM? Here's the OnStar. And then just do a little 2 or 3 minute how the OnStar works and put that. And what's cool, it doesn't cost a whole lot. You don't have to pay anything to add a tab onto your website to put videos. You can use that as a link to send to customers. You can put that on, and just little 2 or 3 minute tips like that, like you said, shrink it down the length of it. And that's where we're going a little long here. But even just little stuff like that, I think dealers can really take advantage of. Now, you've done some bigger production stuff. As we wrap up here, what's some things that where can people go to check out some of your works, web addresses, even videos? Because you did something about take pictures of used cars with style or something like that. What are the name of some of these videos? Obviously, they can Google your name, but give us some URLs.
Well, the name of the music video, Don't Let Them In Your Head. Okay. Jenny Wood is the musician. It's on her YouTube channel. It's not on ours because it's her song. But you'll see our name on there.
Hey, did you play the spoons in that? I know you're a pretty talented spoon player. Did you do that?
Yeah.
No.
I've got an electronic music channel that's got a little bit on that. I have to send you the link. I don't know the URL off the top of my head, but there are some videos on the Dealerography channel, some promo videos. They kind of illustrate some of the points that I'm talking about the importance of audio. And the importance of excitement and how I feel about selfie videos and things like that.
Okay.
And
what's your web address?
It's a really good one, and we didn't make it. But one thing that I try to encourage every automotive professional to watch is a video called I Like Car. And this was back in the Suzuki days. It's several years old, but I mean it is, and it's a life-changing video. I mean it's powerful, this story of generosity, and our dealership, Suzuki of Wichita, took part in this story, but it was a story that involved the larger community. And again, it's one of those things that helps our people understand that we have the power to influence people's lives for the better, not just on our team, but in our community. And yes, we're out making a living. Yes, we are trying to sell products and so forth, but we don't have to do that at cross purposes to the overall betterment of our society. You know what I mean? And we really believe in that here, that this can be a noble and honest and good profession in which we help people. that we improve their situations versus knocking them in the ditch and trying to take them for a ride.
Now, and again, union or non-union person out there, I think your guys' approach to that situation where you guys were getting striked, you guys built a new facility and the union people protested in front of it. Watch that video from Fox News. Again, that's another angle that you guys took that was, still professional, but it was kind of a jab back, and fair enough, I think. And, it's just another different type of angle or approach to promote your business as you're getting bombarded with stuff too. So that shows a little bit of the character, the kind of stuff you guys are able to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So URL, what's your URL? Is it Unforgettable or Dealer?
Well, the dealerography.com is the video training product.
Okay.
And I am starting to offer my spokesperson services. It's kind of on a limited basis, but that's the unforgettablepitchman.com.
Yeah, that's funny. I like
it. And then it's more of a locally faced production company called Curve Break, curvebrake.com, where I'm doing some video work for non-compete town and so forth.
Well,
and business is starting to pick up. I'm going to need to start hiring.
Yeah. Well, if they watch all this video, maybe they'll help you. So here, I appreciate your time. This is a lengthy video, but I think we had some good content, good place for dealerships to start.
I agree.
Good references here. I think we could start. You're not going to you won't be happy with the quality because, again, the breakup on it. But you know what? If we have so much content, I don't want to redo it. We can professionalize it and redo it and make sure. I don't know if it's the go-to meeting that we're on or the internet connection on my end or your end. But we had some breakup in the video. I apologize for that. Not very professional. But again, as people maybe deal with the frustrations here, maybe again that proves your point of having good audio and good connection and having that being professional out there. But I would suggest too, and I know you would too, start somewhere. I've bought the cheap stuff and go, you know what, I should have instead of $20 lights, I should have bought the $80 lights. Now I'm going to go buy the $80 lights, knowing that it was worth it. So learn from your mistakes. But reach out to Aaron. What's your email address, or maybe that maybe somebody can contact you if they want any further information from you?
Yeah, it's Aaron at curvebrake.com. That's BREAK. So CURVEBREAK.com.
Excellent.
Aaron with 2 A's.
All right. And then appreciate everybody's time. Again, a lengthy video here. I'm going to turn it into a podcast. If you ain't got time to watch a video, we'll have it on a podcast. You guys can listen to it. And see you next Monday on the LotParty Show. Appreciate it. Thanks.